Hello guys, welcome to your own channel I Live for Coding, and here I'm your friend Ronit Mukherjee. So guys, welcome to the second part of the student management system video, where it's the part of the web series known as Build to Learn. Yes guys, so it's this video is part of the series Build to Learn and a sub series called Student Management System. So guys, here we will be creating the complete student management system using ES6, Bootstrap, Webpack, and jQuery. So guys, all these technologies will be used, and this is the part two. So in the previous video, you have already seen that we have installed and made the initial setup. So now in this video, we will do the second part where we will create the basic HTML of the login and try to set up the login code so that we can start login into the system. Okay, guys. So before we start, let's do a quick subscribe button and quickly click the bell icon also so that you get notified of all the videos. And guys, if you like this video, then finally click the like button also so that your dislikes, shares, and subscriptions keep on giving me the motivations, and I will be keep on giving you the new videos on new topics and sharing my knowledge with you guys. Okay, and if you feel any problem, any questions, then you can comment on this video and then I will surely help you out. Okay guys, let's start quickly. Okay, so this is the last time we were here, and quickly let's start the npm run. This is the command we made in the last video. So guys, if you haven't seen the last video, then you must quickly see the last video. I will give you the link and in the description and here as a card, as a caption also, so you can guys go to the previous video and have a look. Okay, so let me add do some changes here and show you that it's updating. Okay, so it's updating guys. Now let me quickly introduce our code. Okay, fine. So guys, here I am just creating a main section, and this is the code. I have written the code just to save the time of your guys. I am just pasting the code directly, and so that you can see. Okay, I will just give a code go through. Don't worry, I will give you. And now let me show you. So here I have created a main tag inside which I have created a row. So guys, very importantly that we are following the bootstrap. So we will be following all the bootstrap classes here. Okay. And here I have created a row for the header one and where this will be shown. And the next section I have created is the login panel. So by default, I'm keeping it as d none, but let me remove it. Okay, let me remove it Denon as we need it. Okay, and this is done. Let us see. So I've created a normal form, nothing special. I've created a form within the form groups. I've created username and password, and then finally the login button. Okay, guys, let's see. Okay, so you guys can see that we have now the username and password form here. So this is our first target that we should have the UI. So we have the UI now. Let's make it functional. Okay, so I've created index.html already here, and now let me create our index.js. So it's our index.js where I have included this. And now let me create the student management system class. Okay. So first of all, let me create a folder for classes and create our first class called student management system dot class dot js. So guys, don't worry about this naming convention. You can give it as your way, but it's my way that to identify a normal JS file from the class file. So I just keep a dot class in extension. So it's student management system dot class dot js. Okay. Now let us create the first of all our class. Okay, so what I've done again, I have created the class here. Okay, guys, so you can see that I have created a normal class of in the way of ES6, and in the constructor, guys, I'm creating a variable called users. So this is the actual users database which will be carrying the information about the users, those who will be logging in to the system, logging into the system. So for currently we are keeping it static. So I've created few users like admin, Jack, and Matthews. So guys, as I told you in the my demo in my previous video, where I've shown that there are few users those who have permissions to do perform or do perform some actions, and some other users have some other permissions. So guys, you can see that here ID is created, username is there, password is there, and this is the ACL, guys. So this is the actual thing which is controlling whether that user has the permission to perform particular action or not. So guys, for this session we are just creating, we are not implementing this functionality of checking the power or not, checking the permission or not. But first of all, we will do the normal login. So today's target is to create a login panel and do the login functionality. So for that, I have created few static users. You can see admin, Jack, and Matthews. And apart from that, guys, it is very important to see that I have created this variable inside the constructor, because the reason is that I want to keep this variable as a private variable. I do not want this variable to be accessed directly. Okay, guys, so this is very important to learn here, that I'm not creating this variable outside or using this dot users, cause if I create this dot users, then that users variable be directly accessible from the outside world through the object directly. That if in future, if we create an object SMS, see SMS is equal to new student management system, then I can directly access SMS dot users and do any type of manipulation, guys. So it is very important to see that users is a private variable here. Okay, and similarly, I've created a students database. So guys, don't get confused by this code. Let me remove it, and let me remove this code also. Okay, so you can see that I've created a local variable, a private variable students, guys, and underscore is nothing special, but it's a naming convention that we give to mark some variables or functions as private. So for that, to mark any variable or function, we use underscore. That's why I have used underscore here. Okay, so I've created users, students is blank because we do not have any students and we will not keep any students by default. Everything will be added by the user only through the form. So this time our users have some data, students is blank and station is blank. So station, I've created a variable station in which I will store the actual logged in users data or some other data if we need into the session. Okay, so it's our local variable which is that we behaving as a session. Okay. So guys, so I have created a local or private function called getUser, with which is responsible to give the actual user object. So this object will be returned depending upon the passed username and password. So guys, whenever this function is called, this username and password will be given. So it will loop through all the users, where every single user within the loop will be saved in this variable called user. And then finally, I will check whether user dot username means this username, this is user and this is username. So this is user dot username is equal to the passed username. So whatever I will pass to this function will be matched, and similarly password will be matched. So if these two things get matched, then I know this is the only user which I am finding. So I'm just returning that user. And if after all the looping, if I didn't find anything, then I will return false. So it's returning false, that we could not get any user. Okay, understood, guys? So this function is to find the user. according to the username and the password given to this function. Okay. Now I'm skipping this for now. Let me take you to the next function, which is very important for us for now, is the login function. Okay, guys. So what I've done is that I've created a normal login function. It's a public function because we want the this login functionality to be implemented from outside this world, from the world outside this class. So guys, here before I proceed, I will tell you a very important thing here, that the code I am going to write will have the good and a clear separation between the uh, model level handling. The business logic level handling will be handled completely inside the class, and those handling like handling the DOM, handling the controlling the things, which function of this complete model will be called or not, will be done with other functions and in another file. So I will keep this code a clean because I want this class can that it can be initialized or it can be used in any different way, also in a different DOM structure, in a different UI structure can also be used. I do not want any direct coupling between the business logic and the DOM. So I'm keeping the business logic separate and the DOM logic will be kept separately. Okay, that I will write in a few minutes. Okay, so here what I'm doing is that login is there. So I'm passing if username and password means if I am receiving username and password, then I will check that this user that not this user, I will check that in the current session is there user variable created, means inside this is any variable called user created, any key user created, which means that user is already logged in. Then see, in that case, if it is not, then I will go inside it. Otherwise, it shows that user is already logged in. Fine. So suppose this user variable is not created inside this session variable, then I am considering that user is not logged in. And here I will find out the user using the get user function, which you already saw. Okay, so if I see if the passed username and password is given to this function and by chance it returns false, what does it means? It means that that no user is found with that particular username and password combination. So if user means if the value of the user is positive, then what we will do is set session means inside this session variable I will create a variable and its value will be that particular user who is logged in. So guys, you can see this set session is nothing else, just I'm committing out. We will see this code later. For now, just see this. I am creating that set session, so it will create. So guys, this is very important to see that I am not handling the variables directly from anywhere. So I've given that responsibility to the getter and the setter function, so that we know that to get or set a value we need to use that particular function only. Okay, so inside the login, as we were seeing, to set the value of set a value user in the session variable, I have used set session and finally I have written true, means that user has successfully logged in. If not, it means that the combination given by the user of username and password is wrong. So here the written will be invalid username and password. Otherwise, as you saw already, this else. Okay. Now the next function is the logout, which sets this user variable undefined, means now the user variable is undefined, and it means that next time whenever the check will be done for the user, it will be not there and it will consider that user is logged out. Okay, you can see, and this is the way I am getting get session. So if I pass the key, what it will do is checks that in this session variable, this variable, there exists any key, any property with this name key, means whatever the values passed to the key with that name, any property is there or not. If yes, then return that particular value. Okay, fine. Now I've finally created an object and exported that object. Okay, fine. So let's save it, and now let us include this in our file. This is our code. and let me include it. So for that, I have to write import. Okay. And finally, I have to write import. Then I have to go one level out of JS. You can see, guys, I'm here, index.js. I have to go. Okay, let's go directly here. It's classes, then student management dot class. Okay, so it's imported. Import. I have to write SMS from this one. Okay, now let's see. Let me do some console thing. Simple. Let's do something very simple. SMS. Let's see what we are getting. Okay. Now let me do the output and show you console, guys. So see, we have received the object of the student management system, and let's see what all is accessible to us. So guys, you can see that we can get session, login, logout. Only we are getting this, and nowhere we can access the user session and the our students database. So guys, this is a way to keep your data very protected. So like this, you can't access the user's data directly because it is not available globally. Okay, so we have only get session, we have only login, and we have only logout. Okay, now let me show you. Okay, so this is done. Now the next logic comes is, so we are ready for the from the business logic end. Now let's implement the DOM logic. So DOM logic says that this is the two inputs. We need to fetch the values from this input and now this input, and finally pass those two values to the login function, which will tell us that user is has successfully logged in or not. Okay. So for that, let me go to this index.js. Okay, guys. So what I've done is that I've written document ready. Okay. And then finally, what I've done is I've just taken the reference of this uh, value. Let me show you this one, this login panel. So I have just created a reference because we might need it quite frequently as a context. So let me show you, as we can use it quite frequently for the context. So I have created a reference and kept it. And finally is our login form with this form. Let me show it to you here only. See, the this is the form. Its name is login form. So we need to write something on this form's submit. Okay. So we need something to write on this form submit. Let me show you. Okay, so what I've done, I have created an event binding on the login form ref. So you know what is login form ref now, and on that I have binded a submit event. So whenever the submit event is fired, I do not want my page to reload or do anything, which you know is default functionality of any form. So I've prevented that using the e.prevent default. Then what I have done is I have fetched the values of the username. This is the username. You can see, guys, that its ID is username. So I fetch that, and finally constant password is the password which I have the value of this text box. You know that we need to fetch these values. So I fetch that, and then finally what I have done is that I have logged in the user. Login the user with given credentials. So guys, you can see that I am not writing the business logic here. So you can see simply I have called the function. So this is called the separation of the business logic and the controlling logic. So all these are controlling logic where we are controlling the DOM, we are controlling the values, and everything is being controlled. So this is like a controller, and that file, the class is like a model. Okay. So let's call it fetch the values from the input. Okay, so first of all, we fetch the value from the input, then we log in the user with the given inputs. Okay, let's call it inputs. Now, if the response is true, means it's a successful login. In case of successful login, what I want is that there is an alert. Let me show you guys again. There is an alert, this alert. So it's currently alert danger. And let me do one thing. Let me remove alert danger from here. Okay, let me remove it. So I've removed it, and what I will do here is a very simple thing, that inside it I will add a class. Let us do this. Okay, so let me do one thing, a very simple thing. Let me give a message, logged in successfully. And in case of failure, that in the response we have given a message from there. Let me show you what I mean is that in case of failure, guys, that in case of success it's returning true, but in case of failure it's returning message. Okay, so you guys can see. Okay, so let me come back to the code again here, and this is here. So I'm giving a message logged in successfully, and not done. We need alert success. We need alert success, and we want to remove the class alert danger. Okay. Because you saw that there is a class alert danger to show the error messages, alert danger. So now this is done, and if there is an error, what we will do is very simple thing, that's opposite of it. You guys know that's in case of error, we want to show alert danger, but remove alert success if any. So considering that if there is any, we will remove it. Okay. So this is done. So now let's quickly see what all users are there. Okay, let's go. And this is the username and this is the password. So it's admin and password. Let us quickly check. Okay, let me enter admin and password. Enter, and nothing happens. Nothing happens here. Let me click it again. Nothing happens. Let us see. Let us see. It's not a big problem. Not a big problem. Let's quickly first see that we are getting the event or not. And for that, it's very easy to print the console. Print the response here. Very easy. Simple. Let's save and come here. It's admin and password. Enter. The answer is true. Okay, so you guys can see answer is true, and the mistake is very simple, guys, that we haven't removed the dnone. So let me remove dnone from here, and let us keep it here and remove it using this. Okay, remove class dnone also. Let's see what it happens. It's admin and password. Enter, logged in successfully, guys. So that's great. And now let me enter some wrong password. Let me enter password as admin only, and see, user is already logged in. It's saying is also user is already logged in. Guys, the reason is this, because we have already logged in, and this time it has gone to this condition, but the error message was wrong. The reason is that, let me show you. Reason is the problem in the class. This is, see, it's the problem. See, and let us remove dnone also from this case also. Dnone, and let me do login, quick login. Admin, to admin, password, enter. Logged in successfully. It's logged in. And now without refreshing the page, let me try to log in again. Password and saying user is already logged in. So guys, you can see it's working awesome. It's working great. So we cannot log in a same user again. And let me do a quick logout. Okay, so for that, what we can do is simply access this. This is not accessible here. What I will do is, mm, let me keep it like this. Okay, so this is done. This we can see it's done. And a simple thing to check logout is we can add a new button here. Okay, to check is logout working or not, which is part of today's video to check login and logout. And let me do a quick logout code in front of you guys. And btn, let's give it different color, btn warning, and let's keep it its type as button only so that it doesn't submit the form again. Let me keep it as a button. Let's see. So it's not submitting the form. It's nice for us. And a quick thing. We need a ID logout button. Let's give it an ID logout button and let's write a code for it. Okay. So it's dollar hash logout button, and in reference we know that the context. And so guys, in case of jQuery, the second position is really missed by many of you and really missed by many of us. I would say that we miss this context place because we do not know that this context helps the finding of the DOM very quickly. That is by default its context is DOM, but we do not want to search anything all out of DOM. We know because we know that this logout button is inside this, so we directly give that as a context, so it will start finding the logout button in this context only. Okay, so it is done. Now I will implement click on click. I want to run a function. We will write quick arrow function. Sim done, and let's do sms.logout. So guys, as you can see, this is only available inside this code, so we can't do any. So it's totally secure, guys, that we can't access the users, students in any way from outside. Okay, and this is done. Let me show you. So let me do this and a quick login, admin, this password, enter, logged in successfully. Let me try to log in again. It's showing it's already logged in. Let me do a logout and a login again. So logged in successfully. It's showing that logged in successfully, but we are getting the message in error because we have done a small mistake here. Nothing wrong. It's saying that okay, it's a spelling mistake here. Same. It's alert danger. Okay, so it's refresh. So it's first time login. Do first time login with password, enter, logged in. Next time user is already logged in and log out, and then finally login, it again login. So guys, you can see that when we click log out, it's logging out the user successfully. So let me give you a better thing. Let's give it output also, so that it shows the user that it has logged out, that the user has logged out successfully. Okay, so let me return true from here. Return true. Okay, it's always good to have written from the functions. It's very good. And in case here, if it's true, what we will do is we'll write this code here. This one, paste it, and let's me write logged out successfully. And great. Let me see. So it's refreshed due to browser thing. It's refreshing on its own. Logged in. User is already logged in. Log out. It shows logged out successfully, and let's try to log in. It's logged in successfully, guys. So, guys, it can be seen that we have successfully implemented our code where we have done the basic thing like creating our login panel, logging the user, and we can successfully do the login, guys. So our the purpose and the goal of today's video is achieved. And you guys feel any type of problem, any type of issues, then you can guys quickly comment on this video and clear your doubts. I will surely try to help you guys. And if you really like this video, then please don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon and click the like for this video, guys, because your these likes, shares, and subscriptions give me lots of motivation so that I can keep on continuing and creating the videos for you guys. Okay, guys, so let's end this topic here and meet in our next session. Till then, take care and bye bye.